Y'all can support them the way y'all want to support them. The Lord will make a way. He will provide.
Hey,
that brother laying it on.
hey, look.
I agree with Terry. Because I mean, we grew up in a different time. Like I feel like how some of our fathers, if they were raising some of these kids, it'll be problems on every level. Because like Terry said, like you may not got that affection from your dad, which I can always admit. Growing up in my house, dad wasn't affectionate, but he provided, he did everything. Like I understood. You know, but like Terry said, I think now you have to go there. You have to go that extra mile because kids need it. You know, our young black boys, girls, they need that from both sides, from the father and the mother.
What's good? What's good? Welcome everybody to another episode of Apartment 4A. Fellas, how y'all doing?
Willie slid up in there.
Doing good, man.
Fresh cut and everything.
I know. Fresh cut. He just got the barbershop. Look at the hair on the shirt. On the Willie. There you go.
Feel like you're back at Bond.
Hey man, how y'all doing?
Good, man. Good. I can't complain.
We good.
Oh, I'll be right back.
Man, you gotta go get that brush and get the dust off the shoulders.
You gotta get cleaned up.
Good, man. It's good, man. Everybody had a pretty good weekend. Mother's Day weekend. Shout out to all the mothers that watch the show. We appreciate all y'all, especially our own mothers. So happy Mother's Day to all of them. Y'all had a pretty good Mother's Day, man. Y'all had to do it up for the moms.
It was a Mother's Day weekend and a birthday weekend.
That's right. That's right. We had also had Mr. Kelly turn 1 year older. Happy birthday to you.
One full rotation around the sun.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all, fellas. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Did you get to celebrate it all, or was it all Mother's Day?
Well, we kind of like went a little back and forth. I asked Ashley what she wanted. She took it easy on me, so that was kind of my birthday gift, partially. She said she wanted me to grill some stuff, so I'm like, hey, I can do that.
I didn't have to grill. I went to the store and bought the food.
No, I had to grill. Now, I will say, she said she wanted some lamb chops. And she was like, okay, send me everything you need to make them. I sent her the recipe. She came back with some pork chops. That ain't my fault.
Lamb pork.
You know how much the lamb chops are? Pork chops.
Hey, look. They on me. I cooked them. They was good.
Right.
That's what she wanted. It was your day. But no, she got me a little indoor putting green and like some golf stuff, like some golf socks and this golf towel. This says I use this to wipe my balls.
That's all bad.
Yeah, and some socks that say I'd rather be golfing. And a nice little red velvet cheesecake.
Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah. So yeah. She at least allowed you to taste today, so that's what's good.
Yeah. Can't complain.
Good deal, man. Good deal. We got a very interesting topic, especially considering Mother's Day and everything else that's going around. Today we're talking about conspiracy theories. There's a lot of them out there. There's a lot. Say what now?
I'm just here to listen.
Oh no. His name tells it all. Tupac is alive.
You need that put.
He all the way in there.
Who put that there?
There's a lot of conspiracy. Matter of fact, let's just start right there. You know, we're gonna jump in there. We might well jump into one of the biggest ones that's been around. Is Tupac alive? Do you believe that Tupac was killed, shot down, gunned down, is dead, or is Tupac still out here surviving it all, holding up? What's the deal? Is Tupac alive?
Can I share my thoughts?
Go for it.
You know when Tupac got shot, 7 days later they said he died. Guess what time they said he died at?
What time?
7 o'clock.
7.
I want to say 7:34. 3 4 is what?
At 7.
7.
7. So if you really think about it, to show that he's not really dead. He has moved past this mortal ideal of him and went and surpassed, and now he's in Cuba just living a serene life. And he had to go to Cuba because that's where they gave him asylum. The government was all trying to keep him down, and I think the government and the other part of that, I want to say the government tried to assassinate him.
So I'll say this off the bat. Based on Terrence's in-depth analysis of the Tupac conspiracy, I'm not ready for the conversation. I have some ideas. Terrence got dates and times and facts, and he got sub-conspiracy theories based off the main conspiracy theory. I don't know. My argument gonna be a little shabby. I say no. I say he did. Just based on the fact. Based on the fact that there's 1 billion cameras walking around, somebody caught a picture of him, a video or something.
Mm-hmm. They ain't caught a picture of the killer.
But that's the thing.
We know who the killer is.
The government.
He been walking around
with a big old red shirt on.
Exactly. Exactly.
So that's a conspiracy theory in itself. So, Kel, are you saying Suge Knight was the one that killed Tupac?
Hey, everybody who ain't scared of Suge said it was Suge. Both of them.
So did Suge pull the trigger or Suge was in on it?
Nah, Suge can't shoot that good. He ain't pull the trigger. He just had some folks out there on that was local. Go ahead and hit him up.
No pun intended.
See what you did there.
So the thing is, a lot of people say one of the reasons why you can't see Tupac because he actually is living in Malaysia, and where he is, he's in this mansion that's kind of tucked off in the back, is guarded by dogs and all this other stuff. But the people in Malaysia know him; they seen him, they just don't know him as Tupac.
I was about to say, Tupac was famous, but.
And so there was a story that was on TikTok going around about Tupac, that this lady, she was working in a clothing store somewhere in the States, and this man came in and he was wearing like, $100 to $150 worth of Tupac apparel, like Tupac shirts, hats, had all this stuff, Tupac. And the lady like, hey man, where you going with all this Tupac stuff on? And he was like, hey, there's a guy in my country. This guy is in my country. This guy right here, he stayed in his mansion or whatever. He's out there doing whatever. We see him all the time, but they say he rarely ever come out, but they see him. And she was like, who, Tupac? And he was like, who is Tupac? I know, no, this guy. He said, just wait till I get back to my country. I show everybody that he's on all these shirts. And it's like, basically, they see Tupac all the time. They just don't know him as Tupac.
I'll say this.
Expand my conspiracy world. Hey man, because I went to Cuba and I was looking for Tupac and I didn't find him. So I haven't been to Malaysia.
Look, I'm gonna say this.
Add that to the list, Rod. I appreciate that.
No problem. I got you.
hey, I'm gonna say this. Historically, non-black people ain't the best at deciphering between black people. So, is there a bald, skinny black man in Malaysia that's got some money? Sure. Is he Tupac? Probably not.
I mean, you don't know. You ain't never been to Malaysia.
Hey, I don't know that he is though.
You should, because the TikTok told you. The count TikTok told you here.
So that's why the government trying to shut down TikTok, because it's exposing the Tupac conspiracy. Hey, I'm in the mode right now.
We got about 5 more minutes today.
Yeah.
But is the government trying to shut down stuff like TikTok, Instagram, or whatever, because people are exposing more than they actually should.
No, the government trying to shut it down because Russia using it to influence the idiots.
Russia and the Chinese and the Middle East, they working together.
They putting these crazy stories out here, and these folks acting a fool and running and trying to take down the Capitol because of it. That's why the government trying to shut it down.
Yeah, because they already removed any sort of critical thinking or decision making skills and lessons that's taught in school. So it's backfiring on them.
Yeah, big time.
I mean, I guess you can call it its own form of warfare. You know, if that's what the deal is. A lot of countries around outside the United States are banning TikTok. So I guess they're saying, you know, we don't want this in our country. Actually poison the mind of our citizens, especially our young people. So, you know, maybe the United States might need to look into limiting at least TikTok. I don't know. It's gonna be hard because of freedom of speech. But,
no, TikTok. TikTok.
Yeah, it's a state that just banned it. Got a notification today, so it's.
Yeah, so they got one or two options. Either they're gonna ban TikTok or TikTok has to sell to an American-owned company.
Right.
Those are the options. And this ain't the first time that the government has done this with an app.
I mean, it's interesting.
Now, why they shutting it down? You know, I highly doubt it's because they're concerned about the citizens. I don't think that's what it is.
What? Well, it's always the citizen first.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess I would like to know why, or you know, so what the cause, because it's basically Facebook videos. That's all it is, basically.
It's different than Facebook. So the difference between
Facebook, obviously, but
I mean, like fundamentally, like who's in control of it and the way it works.
Yeah.
When you look at Facebook is just like a mess of just functionality, right? You got videos, you got photos, you got reels, you got stuff being pumped in from Instagram, you got marketplace, you can sell stuff, you got groups, communities, all this stuff on Facebook. And Facebook gets all that data and the government has access to all that data. So the government don't care. Same for Instagram, same for Twitter, same for Snapchat. The difference with TikTok is the US government doesn't have access to any of the data that they're gathering. And the TikTok algorithm is the most potent right now. If you watch any video on TikTok gonna show you back to back to back to back more videos. So they have a better understanding of what you want to see. When they see you seeing it, they know exactly, okay, this is what he want to see. You ain't gotta search for nothing. You ain't gotta, like, TikTok don't even use hashtags for you to be able to find videos. So their algorithm is more efficient, I'll say. Works a lot better. They understand what people want, but all that data is going to China. I know that's one problem. I ain't gonna say that's the only one, but I know that's one big thing. The US government don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, of course it's a control thing. So, you know, they got to figure out ways that they can kind of get their hands into it. The government and conspiracy theories have been going around forever. So it's quite, you know, really trying to understand exactly what they want to do with the data. We understand that China may be using to do research on Americans to see where, you know, some vulnerabilities may be. But, you know, really what is America trying to do with that same information?
Trying to sell us stuff.
Exactly.
That's how they do it.
Sell us a Ford Focus. Ford Focus. By American built, American made.
Yeah.
You see that on TikTok.
I'm about to say. Hey, it's funny because they build more Toyotas in the US than they do any other car.
Yeah. So sticking with the government and conspiracy theories, I saw one out there, and this is going to be interesting. The conspiracy theories about Area 51. The question is Area 51 really the area where they, you know, it's contaminated, aliens, whatever, or are we living in Area 51 And that block of land that's there is actually the safe spot. That's why every time somebody get close, the guns and stuff, they don't want you to infiltrate the real area because everybody else is actually in Area 51.
Oh, that's deep.
I never heard that.
Yeah,
That's a deep.
You dropping knowledge bomb.
Oh yeah.
Well,
That don't get it shut down. I don't know what will.
Yeah, I'm just here to listen as an employee of the. I have no comments. No.
We're gonna get a text at 7. Get an email at 7:30 a.m. Hey, Mr. Willie, please come into the office today. We need to have a conversation.
I'm glad. Hey, podcast done. I feel y'all. Them folks is wrong.
but that's what a couple of people have been saying, man. Just look it up. A lot of folks are saying that Area 51 is actually the safe spot, and the reason why it's so secure and there's so many restrictions about getting too close, and if you step out there, you might get shot down, is because it's actually the safe place, and everybody else they're in Area 51 watching us versus us trying to get in. They don't want to be contaminated. So
yeah, I never heard that, but hey,
right.
Why not?
Yeah, that's an option or an opinion, I guess.
If you're just joining us, thank you again for coming in. If you got any conspiracy theories that's on your mind that you'd like to talk about, please put it in the chat. We'd love to hear some of the conspiracies that you have heard of or ones that you may 100% believe. We talked a little bit about Tupac and some things that the government got going on. Here's one that's pretty popular, especially in science, is did we actually go to the moon?
That was a big backdrop. I'm telling you.
The flag ain't
backdrop. Backdrop. Oh, they got. Oh, I thought they got you here.
No, man. That ain't right.
Money. You up in the 100.
Hey,
your money too.
That space talk might not need to happen, man.
I know.
Everything started going crazy.
As soon as we say space, blacked out.
So to debunk some of your stuff, what they said like about the flag, of course, the flag can't wave in space. So what they said was they created the flag to stand like that because the flag just drooping down didn't look good. So they made the flag to stand that way, like it was hardened to look like that.
The dust was flying everywhere when he made them leaps. What was that all about?
You see the dust storm?
It's a
black and white.
I mean,
black and white. You don't know that was sand or what?
No wind, nothing. Come on now. You gotta do better than that. There's no atmosphere. There's no oxygen. That's why there's no wind and all this.
So one of the things that's interesting about Earth and Moon, they said that there's enough space between the moon and Earth to fit all of the planets. That's how far the moon is actually away from us, that there's enough room to fit all the planets in between it.
I don't know. That's kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
I need to hear some numbers because Jupiter pretty big.
From when I hear Jupiter is pretty big. At least
Yeah.
You go look in them science books. Ain't that like how they have him laid out?
Not between the Earth and the moon. They might have some Earths inside of Jupiter, but they ain't got the distance between the Earth and the moon. I'm gonna look that up. Y'all go ahead.
The distance between the Earth, the Earth and the moon is 238,000 miles.
Who took that measurement?
I don't know.
What will they use?
One of those.
They got them laser shooters.
Let me just a little bit. That number look a little bit better.
Hey, he gotta have that thing plugged up to a Tesla battery.
That number look a little bit.
If we went to the moon one time, why haven't we been back again? And
So
that was in the 50s. You said
technology ain't the same.
Well, so there is
They don't
a
feel something to say.
Better than 50.
Just like the exact same reason why they still got 50 model cars on the road. They don't have 2,000 cars on the road.
So I'll say the reason why I've heard that we had went back is because it's an extremely expensive and dangerous trip, and we actually planning to go back now. They're working on the rocket.
You know how long they've been
but
saying
they
that?
say, but so here's the thing, though.
Really? How long they been saying that here?
So so here's the thing: NASA hadn't put a man in space in almost 20 years, let alone go to the moon. It's a money thing, and I fully believe that. Like, I worked for NASA. I fully believe it. Every 4 years, they get new leadership at NASA.
So you saying back in 1950, they was able to gather enough money to send somebody to the moon. From 1950 to 2023, their money has been sketchy.
No. I'm not saying they haven't had the money. I'm saying the government haven't given NASA money to go back. Because you know what happened in 1950? The thing called the space race. So the government was competing against all the other countries. Well, not all the Russia and China. Basically, they were like, once you get Russia and China trying to do something, the U.S. government ain't gonna be far behind trying to compete with them. But once they care about it, the U.S. ain't care about it. And it shows because the reason why the last person to go up into space was going up on Russian rockets. We was literally hitching rides on Russian rockets because the U.S. government didn't want to fund NASA and giving them the money to build rockets to put people in space. That's how much they care about going to space. And every 4 years, you get new leadership. So the direction of NASA changes, and you start over from scratch.
And that's why my conspiracy is still strong. Because the government is brainwashing our other brother man, telling them these quote-unquote facts about why they're going. What's the truth? The truth is, they didn't go to that one time, and they don't know how to go the second time. Ain't nobody know any money. They never been. It was late. They was in the studio, most likely on Area 51.
And the plot thickens.
So you saying we didn't even get there on accident? We didn't even crash land on the moon or nothing. We ain't never touched it.
Never touched it. We still drawing the plans.
It is a pretty interesting thing. I mean, because I understand the space race, and I guess you didn't win, but we still want to go. Like, if China and Russia, just because they didn't go first, wouldn't they still want to go to prove that they could do it?
Who don't want to go put a flag on there and say this is now America? Because whoever's on it, whoever lands on it owns it, right? It's their property.
So we went and we put a flag on it. Nobody else went. Why go back?
Because they ain't put no flag on it. The flag was fake.
So why go? Why go back?
So my question is this. If outside of just people in America, of course, there's people in other countries who believe America didn't go to the moon. Okay. And if some country don't believe that they didn't go, why not go to prove it?
Why not go take a picture and say, I don't see any flags. Give me your GPS of where you dropped your flag so I can go grab it. So
we made it. We managed to put somebody on the moon. You know how many monkeys and people died and money that was spent trying to get that one person up to the moon, and nobody else was even able to make it. They was killing people too, trying to get up there. So at a certain point, you got to decide what you got to hold that L. All right, the money and the lives not worth it. Who gonna volunteer to go to the moon?
Me. And every other fool who want to say that I don't think I went.
What qualified person go volunteer to go to the moon?
The same qualified person.
I would not let you get on that shuttle, team.
Not at all.
They can make a reality show. Everybody sign up for it.
I mean, there'd be a lot of people sign up for it.
So you did.
Your boy Virgin when you trying to go to the moon.
Tell me you can't make a good reality show off that.
Who gonna send some reality show people to the moon? Who gonna spend billions of dollars trying to send some reality show food?
Love and hip hop on the moon. I'm watching it. I'm watching it. Lil Scrappy and Stevie J on the moon with Jocelyn.
I'm not only watching
TV.
Hey, look.
when
I
they
ain't
say
gonna lie.
donate. When they say donate $5 to make sure this going, I'm hitting on my app.
I'm giving
Hey.
10
Cash out.
So it's it's funny you say that because there's actually a guy who's been recruiting people to go to Mars, and when they ask him how he's going to pay for it, because like the amount of money they were saying it would take to fund getting to Mars and sustaining enough people to grow a colony there and inhabit Mars is like an uncalculatable amount of money. He was like,
Right.
easy, I'll live stream it. He said, I'll live stream it, I'll get advertisers, and he's like, it'll be the most watched thing in the history of TV.
It would be.
And the interview was like, you got it right. Yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
100%. It'd be the most.
He's like-
Podcast on that.
yeah. And so, but he actually like gone through, he's took applications, he's recruited people, like, and his approach is like you get people that all have certain skill sets. So you don't want everybody to be engineers, you don't want everybody to be doctors. You want like a diverse group of people that can kind of handle various situations. And then of course, people's question was about like breeding, and it was like all of them going to have like vasectomies, because he was like, that's the most dangerous thing you can have in space is try to have a baby. That's wild. Which makes sense. You try to have a baby on Earth, it's kind of sketchy sometimes.
Yeah.
So imagine that in space. And then also increasing the number of people that you got to provide, resources for. He's like, he's like, there's no room for it with the first batch. First batch of people, go set up shop. That's your only job. Like, y'all can woohoo if you want to, but having babies out the question.
Terraform
Yeah.
the Earth. Well, I guess one of the things people were saying about going to Mars and like trying to go get it set up so when the Earth basically becomes inhabitable, you have somewhere else to go. But the thing that's to combat that, they were saying if you have the technology to terraform Mars, you can basically do the same thing to Earth. You just recreate Earth. Like it wouldn't really make sense to leave the planet to make a new one when you could, if you had that technology, you can just remake planet that you already here.
So,
We're doing bad. We're doing
Bad.
bad.
You done seen them
Yeah.
movies? You done seen them movies? They got the boats and the
You
ships.
can't believe they on the movie.
They're not trying to remake this.
Yeah. He said this is a failure, huh? Yeah. Say this is a failure.
This the original. It didn't
You
go.
don't want to be in After Earth. You want to be in New Earth.
New
Yeah.
Earth.
So also, according to Elon Musk, he was saying that in order to recreate Earth's atmosphere on Mars, all you gotta do is set off a couple of nukes. So I think they're trying to do that here on Earth. Might be a little controversial. Whereas on Mars, you can do that and not really hurt nobody. So there's that.
But you can't listen to everything Elon Musk says. Just
Well, not everything. Not everything, but he get a lot of government money to do some things. So
Y'all know who Elon Musk remind me of?
Who?
Batman.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
Retarded Batman.
Let's hear this theory.
Who know what school Batman went to?
You know what school he went to?
Did he get degrees? No, he just got money.
He got skills. He was out here learning hand-to-hand combat.
Per se.
Doing detective work. Per se. You seen the whoopings? You see, they got plenty of documentation of the whoopings he been handing out. You see the latest Ninja Turtle movie?
Well, I guess Zuckerberg is the new Batman in.
And Batman got his degree from Yale.
Mhm.
He did.
One of them. But Mark Zuckerberg, he's out there doing BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and winning medals and whatnot.
I would love to see that.
Google it.
I'm gonna go watch. I'm gonna go look after
I
this.
haven't watched the video yet. I just saw a snippet on Instagram. But hey, it gotta be
Hey,
true.
look,
Hey man, that man said y'all come try to take Facebook again. It's the hands.
he said, if one more congressman asks me how the internet
One
works,
more kind. I'm going to
you getting these.
Let me show you. You stick that cable right into the.
Mark said he was smart now. He gonna do whatever he gotta do to protect himself and his money. So
No doubt.
Any means necessary.
Yeah,
I don't know where
no
you
doubt.
think got that from.
Hey, when you get the government in your pocket, and they gonna literally destroy any competitor that come up against you, Hey, you know.
Yeah, I guess that's what they trying to do with the TikTok.
Oh yeah, that's happening. That's already in the works.
It's even a Facebook or nothing. That's all you need.
Yeah.
So
I'm on the camera. You want to get some video?
So, what's another conspiracy theory that you guys may have heard of or may have listened to? Go ahead, Mr. Kelly. You look like you excited to say one.
Well, y'all brought up Mr. Musk. I don't know if y'all have heard his theory about how we possibly live in a simulation and the rationale behind it. It actually makes sense. Like it's hard to do. Like at this point, I don't know how you disprove what he's saying. Have y'all heard it at all?
I have not.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be good. So
Break it down too.
So according to Elon Musk, you know, there are several people that believe that we live in a simulation, but his rationale is it's kind of egotistical and naive to assume that we went from horses and buggies to flying planes and electric cars in like roughly 150 years. And we've never accomplished that level of technology and surpassed it in the past in the entire existence of humanity. Right? Like what's different about humans in the past 150 years versus the thousands and thousands of years we've been on the earth. And at a certain point, you got to believe, like, I just got a VR headset and I'm like drooling because I'm like, this is amazing. He's like, you have to believe that we've achieved a certain amount of, and he used video games as an example, a certain amount of realism in our simulation that is indistinguishable from real life. And so now it's like, how do you know that you're not in the simulation?
So I'm in the Matrix.
The blue pill, the red
could be.
So
could be.
Here's my only question about
Neo.
Here's my only question about being in the simulation is, how do you feel all the emotions and physical contact?
Sensors, you know, I mean, apparently they figured that out. But the other thing, so at a certain point, him trying to prove that we are in the simulation kind of it gets to a point where you really can't. But then the scary thing is when it's like, okay, prove that we're not. Like what? Like how do you prove that we are not in a simulation? Mm-hmm. It's like
jump off a building if you survive.
That's the thing.
Like, off and pop up.
You got. I mean, there are parameters in games where if you do certain things, it's like, well, you die. But then you have things like people get shot 9 times walking away. It's like, oh, was that a glitch? Like, according to the rules, they're supposed to be dead. They're supposed to be with Tupac, but they ain't.
In Cuba.
So
next level, right?
But just like in games, there's limitations on things that you can, or places that you can go. Like
Area 51. Why you just proved this point? What you talking about?
So think about it.
You trying to disprove them, and you just proved it.
I ain't talking about that.
So
what I'm talking about, like at a point in the game or something like that, you can walk so far and you get to an end. It's like a barrier. You can't move anymore. You have to turn around and go back.
That ain't been in the game for a while.
Oh, they still have black spots in the game.
But those are poorly made games though. I know a game right now that literally generates whole worlds where you literally like you will never get to an end point where it's like, okay, I've reached the end of the game. And that game been out for years. But if you factor in life. Well, so if you think about it, right now AI is like a huge talking point. And if you assume that we've kind of gone down this trajectory before in the past, right now the biggest fears about AI is that the right configured AI can learn and understand what it took humans centuries to understand in like hours. And so when you get something that is able to learn and adapt that fast, creating something that is realistic isn't that difficult. Like all the things we struggle with understanding about the human brain and how to simulate it and understanding consciousness, you just dump AI on it with enough horsepower, eventually they get to a point where they can fully understand it and recreate it. Or at least that's the theory. But
either here or there.
Yeah.
Hey man, I tell you, because you do have those moments like when you have the deja vu moments, and you be like, I've been here, I've done this, like, but I can't remember when. But it's just little thing. You like put everything in, like
jacked up a little bit.
Man,
Yeah,
dang,
you think about dreams, how they're like pseudo reality a little bit. You think about somebody in the coma or something like that. Like it's a lot that we don't know, and you don't figure that out until something goes wrong. When you break, then the doctor's like, "Oh well, we're practicing. It's not exact science, and
You are our first trial." So
here's my only question about living in that. At some point, somebody has to get quote unquote unplugged.
And the thing is, the people who are unplugged, y'all call them crazy. These folks who said they don't outside of reality, they know what the truth is. Y'all call them crazy.
You can't be unplugged if you're still in the reality.
Yeah, exactly.
But they got unplugged. They came back in.
But why would you come back?
To tell people, tell you the truth.
Nah, they don't make it like that no more.
Gotta get you unplugged, bro.
Nah, they don't make them like that. I think the Harriet Tubman program got corrupted.
We'll come back and save you.
I'm telling you, everybody trying to figure out the latest TikTok dance right now.
I guess the thing would be some of that stuff would be what's that? I forget the name of that flight that just magically disappeared.
What?
Oh yeah.
What if that was a unplugging? The reason why you never found them people and no trace of those people, you don't find no bodies, you can't find a black box or nothing. It's because literally it was these group of people who got out.
All this technology, they can't trace not one piece of it.
Because they got out. Because you can't, look, we look at it like this. If we're in a simulation, that somebody would be Neo to try to save us all. But realistically, that wouldn't be the case.
Yeah, they might say themselves.
Yeah.
What they might get out.
Come out.
Yeah, because in the Matrix, people weren't just trying to get out.
Nah,
because they didn't know. Nobody was trying to get out because
they was having fun. Neo came in there messing up the program. Y'all need to get out of this fun. Come on,
ruining their steak and potatoes.
We got no technology. We living in the slums. Even we fighting out these digital.
But even Neo had to take a chance with that himself. They told him the red pill, blue pill. It was a real decision for him. He was like, I'm straight right now. I don't know if I want to go out.
Yeah, women said the same thing.
Y'all want me to help y'all understand what's going on?
Go ahead, Taylor. Go ahead. Give it to drop it down.
Break it down.
There was one who entered into this reality and removed himself from this reality and trying to show y'all the way to get out of this reality to get to a better place.
Yeah.
Preach it.
That's the Lord Jesus.
There you go.
He came to walk among us.
That's it.
So that he can experience what we experience and tell y'all this is not the real thing, but my Father have a house.
That's right. That's what he said.
Many room.
Many we just unplug.
You got to bring it full circle.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's a message.
Yes.
Hey, maybe that's the true unplugging. You going to Christ and get a chance to see God for yourself. It's truly you becoming unplugged and receiving your actual body.
Well, I think it might be a little bit more procedural than that. We don't want people just unplugging.
Yeah,
it's a
let the Lord direct you.
You gotta download some programming first.
I mean, he's only taking back the good program. He's not taking you back with any viruses. If your program dirty, he don't want you.
yeah, but you got to have a certain program downloaded first, though.
If you're not doing your upgrades weekly, you might not make
it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can't just cut on out and be like, I'm gonna power down right now. No, go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah. For those who's watching, we're talking about conspiracies. Please, if you have any comments, anything that you like to say, or any conspiracies that you like to share, please feel free to put them in the comments. We'd love to hear conspiracies that just be on your mind. Eric, I mean not Eric, Willie, Terrence, y'all got a conspiracy?
I got
I
one.
got my list because y'all should have done it last week. I was hot last week.
I can bring up one of yours. I don't know if you want to.
No, not that one. The other.
Go ahead, Willie.
Theory we learned about in school. We evolved from monkeys. Now, if we did that, why have no more monkeys evolved in the humans? Did they just stop? Like they evolved at a certain point? Like, I'm a man, no more of us gonna turn into man no more.
Smart monkey, dumb monkey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All the years, no more monkeys said, I want to be man and transform.
I don't think that's how it happened though. I don't think the monkey was like, you know what? I want to be a man. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. You know,
I don't think they had the conversation, man.
I don't think they had a meeting about that.
It went down like Ninja Turtles. It was ooze.
Yeah, I think it just kind of happened. You know,
they got into the ooze. I knew it. The ooze
I don't know. That is an interesting theory though, because you can ask the question: if we evolved from monkeys, why are there still monkeys?
Why are there still monkeys?
I mean, dumb monkeys don't evolve.
Yeah.
Some people like to stay where they are.
Yeah, but why?
Everybody can take that leap. Everybody can take that leap and step outside of the matrix. We are evolved.
That monkey was
through unplugged. Them suckers still plugged in.
I don't know. I think the first monkey that was like, you know what, man? I think I might need some clothes. I don't know how well he would have fared with the other monkeys. The monkey's kind of strong. Why he give up that natural strength?
He was still strong. He was already a monkey.
Did you watch Planet of the Apes?
You racist,
He's a realized.
Hey, racist. We were the first people. Shoot, fuzz pies.
According to Planet of the Apes, I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay, let go.
Caesar realized that he don't have to be strong in order to control them. He just have to be smart.
Yeah,
he can use his mind to make them do whatever he want to do. Come over there, throw his hand out. They bend down. They rub his hand. Because he uses his mind, my brother.
So he just gave up the strength, huh?
He don't need the strength is in his mind.
His mind is strong.
I'm just trying to figure out how that transition happened. Smart monkey after smart monkey. All of a sudden, just, you know what? I really need some help lifting these bag of groceries.
But that's exactly what happened. The thing is, if you can make somebody, if you have the mental capacity to make somebody do something for you, and you don't have to do anything, and you can control people with your mind, why wouldn't you do that?
I don't know. We don't tend to be the most obedient, especially because as we start, growing the population, people start thinking and having opinions and getting mad. Why Caesar get all the good bananas? We get all the beat up bananas.
That's
well, there's muscle on him. Yeah, that's what
he got the muscle though.
Take care of my lightweight.
Caesar got an army.
I guess so.
Caesar say. I mean, the monkey thing. The whole part of evolution is I don't have to be as strong if I'm more advanced. Like I don't have to know how to fight if I know how to make a gun.
Caesar not to make no guns.
Well, I'm not. That's just the move. We just talking about it. We just use him as a name.
I mean,
he made a
pick that gun up and got to shoot.
I know, right? People start listening to it.
Gun. You look at gun is the end result. I'm just saying, like, if you truly evolved and you got smarter and you made tools, and then again you made weapons, and as you get older and as you evolve, you make better weapons, better tools. And if another civilization or whatever is not advancing in that same way, you wouldn't necessarily have to be as strong if you have tools to counteract it.
I don't know. It don't hold water. There's so much stuff that would have to happen.
That's life, brother. That happens every day.
So the thing is, the smartest don't survive. It's the fittest. It's the strongest. There ain't never been survival of the smartest. Right?
Hey.
It's survival of the fittest.
Hey, that's what they tell us. That's what the saying is.
I don't know. Being tough tend to.
But my thing is, somebody had to write that down, and I'm pretty sure that Big
It wasn't
strong
a
guy
fit
with a
guy.
lot of
Did they? Did they have to write it down? They couldn't just be saying it over and over all these years. Like a lot of stuff.
Say, according to Neil deGrasse or deGrasse, I always say his last name wrong. If humans evolved from monkeys, it would be white people. They have more features in common with monkeys than black people. They are larger ears and hairier. So,
yeah. Well, Neil deGrasse Tyson is our favorite astronomer or whatever.
Yeah.
He ain't no biologist.
And he says we went to the moon. He said it would be like
he know about space
and cheaper to go to the moon than it would be to fake it. Because he said,
I don't know about cheaper.
No, what he's saying with cheaper, he's not talking about just building the stuff, but he said in order to fake it, you would always have to make it seem like you actually did it. With all the paperwork, all the people you have to hire, all the design and all that stuff in order to fake it.
Nah,
tell you what he said. In order to fake it, it cost you.
It definitely is cheaper to fake it than to build a rocket and send people into space and bring them back home. Definitely cheaper.
But today it is. Today
1950, you could build a rocket
because of the technology that we had.
Technology is cheaper now. You can use a cell phone and go to the moon now. Back then, it was significantly more expensive. It took an entire room. So they didn't even have computers. They had people that they call computers because them people was the ones that actually did the punch cards and calculations and stuff by hand. So you think about how much it costs to get them people to send you to the moon. Back then, I mean, the money, nah, ain't no way. Them folks kept doing all the calculations, like building equipment.
But the thing is, if you was gonna fake it, you wouldn't do all that. That's
exactly.
what he's saying. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. Like,
but he's saying that it's more expensive to fake it, and I'm saying it ain't.
Well, he's saying the reason it's more efficient because you have to make it realistic. Like you can't just. Because
did you see the TVs that I was watching back then?
But
black and white 480p.
You thinking just the video part of it. You thinking just the video part of it. He's talking about all of the stuff, all of the work that was put into it. You couldn't fake going to the moon and not have no paperwork, no trace of it. It's just we went to the moon. That's it. Like you would still have to have proof. If you want people to believe you went, you have to have proof that you went.
So how difficult would it be to put somebody on a rocket and launch it up in a like low Earth orbit and have it come down somewhere or have them parachute down or whatever to some area and then you just film them? Like,
but he's not talking about just the video part of it. Like
I'm talking about the actual like theatrics, like, hey, like we making calculations, we gonna send these guys up and have them go somewhere and it not be the moon. Like getting to the moon is like the amount of resources you need for a trip like that if for somebody to survive.
And like you need a little space, a little gasoline.
And what Tyson is saying is with all of that
light it.
Because he's saying because they went to the moon, they have all of this evidence, all this research, all these calculations, all these computers, all these rockets were made, and all this stuff was done. He was saying basically to truly fake it, for nobody to be able to disprove that you did not go, you still would have to create all that stuff. Plus, you would have to pay off all those people never to say anything.
I mean, you have to pay some people off. So
some people, everybody.
so here's the thing. Think about the amount of money it would take in 1950 to pay off people to be like, you know what fake moon landing? It ain't a lot compared to today.
True, but how long would you not say it? These folks will still be getting paid.
Hey, I say this.
Say they not getting paid.
Well,
and they might be.
Hey, between that and also government to kill people for a lot less. I'm just saying, if you're gonna mess up some money, you're gonna mess up something like that. I think you'd be a lot more worried about being in danger than getting your check.
And that may be true, but it'll be a lot of you. I think looking at just the production of it, is just a small portion of what he was saying that it would take to actually fake.
Yeah, talking about the logistics, the paperwork. And I'm not saying that they didn't try, right? Because even in trying, you still generate a lot of that data. Right. Yeah, we're getting close. Like if we do this should get us there. Let's try test it and see.
Yeah.
Because my thing is, what scenario did they test transmitting video from the moon to Earth before they actually got to the moon?
Yeah.
Like, how do you know that's gonna work?
It was a one-time,
and it worked the first time. Like, if I try to boot up a Teams meeting, it's hit or miss. And they talking about, we're gonna go to the moon for the first time, and we're gonna get the footage.
We shot
the first steps.
We shot this clear video back there.
I'm just saying, it's some stuff where it's like, you think about the technology and like it need to work the first time. Like,
hey, you seen the Energizer button? Them batteries keep going and going.
Hey, you know what they also talk about? The doggone cameraman in Dragon Ball Z. He the real truth.
He the fastest
because he watching everybody. He must have had him good.
The cameraman on all anime, the strongest character ever made.
Oh yeah.
No matter what anime that you're watching, the cameraman is always on point. He see everything. You can't outrun him. You ain't never fast enough. The cameraman always see it.
Exactly.
You can't defeat the cameraman.
Nope. Last thing you want is him to fade the black on you. Like, I turn it off on you. You wouldn't do that. You ain't gonna be in next season.
Ricardo say his conspiracy theory: Black people are the Hebrews of the Bible. Identity was stolen. At least that's what these guys preach in the park every Saturday. True.
Hey, you know what make it true? Hey, you know what make it true? The matching shirts. All right. You ain't out here lying with matching shirts.
The purple matching shirts.
Exactly.
So here's a theory that I saw about the Israelites or Israel. This one guy was saying that, how it says that there'll be a second coming of Jesus Christ. And he's saying that second coming has already happened. What he's saying is in the Bible, and I have to find the whole thing to tell you everything because I've only watched it like once or twice. But in a nutshell, it says that Christ will come when Israel becomes a nation again. In Israel, in what was it, the 60s, maybe the 70s, that's when they officially became a nation.
Yeah.
And so he said, based on that and based on the other prophecies that are in the Bible, he's placing out what has happened and stuff, whatnot, that Christ has already come the second time, and that what we live in is basically hell on earth.
And did they crucify him back in 1996 on Las Vegas Boulevard? This big dude with the red shirt on was it Judas?
Hey, I'm just giving you the theories. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
So the reason why the black man is the true Israelite, the true Hebrew, back in when Israel was burned by Nero in 90 AD, they all left. That was the last time they left Israel, and they said they left and they went where they always go. Where? Egypt. They went to Egypt, and then they stayed in Egypt, and they went to other places as well. They said that group is true Israelites who stayed in Africa. And then the other group is Queen Sheba, as in when she went to visit Solomon, she got knocked up, and she asked Solomon, how can I bring peace to my nation? He said, come to my room, I'm gonna show you. And he showed her, impregnated her. She went back, and that heritage is a true and Queen Sheba, she was African. Solomon was Israel. You take the heritage of your father, went back to Ethiopia, and that's where the black Hebrew say that they're from. Right?
Hey, sound like you need you one of them purple and gold shirts.
I'm thinking about Queen of the South.
Now, you say Sheba, we talking like Sheba, baby, that Pam Grier played.
No.
It's a different Sheba. This ain't same Sheba, baby.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to make sure. Man. Sheba, baby.
So here's one, and this is for basketball since we are in basketball season. For just to throw this out there for y'all was hating on me last week. Y'all do know the Lakers are in the Western Conference Finals
And got beat to sleep last week.
They did. They lost by 7.
Quick with that one.
They came all the way back. They lost by 7. They didn't get beat to sleep. They lost by 7. They
They
came
were
back.
losing by 27 at one point.
They won.
They were getting beat to sleep, then they woke up. They're like,
They woke up. They figured it out. Hopefully it would translate to
This ain't football.
we lost the first one. I still say Lakers are 6. That's my thing. But here's the thing about basketball that was interesting. In 2021, Giannis Antetokounmpo won the All-Star MVP. And that same year, he also won a championship and was the MVP. In 2022, Steph Curry won the All-Star MVP. And that same season, he also won the championship and won the MVP. So this year MVP is Jason Tatum. Plays for the Boston Celtics. I think last I checked, I don't know who's winning the game now, but before we got on, they were winning.
Heat won.
The Heat came back and won?
So they kind of slow, Willie.
Yeah, 1-20, they did. They won. So if Boston can make the championship and they actually win,
they ain't getting past Jimmy Buckets. Jimmy Buckets about to defunct that whole theory.
So he about to ruin the whole conspiracy, huh?
It's over.
It's crazy, especially with that Miami. That's literally all they got, and they can't stop the guy at all.
Yeah.
They don't even have nobody to pass to. Who?
They got Buckets.
Who?
They got this
Cheerleaders.
center dude, or Debo, or Dio, whatever.
Bam out of bio. Bam, go like
bam.
2 dunks a game. Look, you can take his 4 points away. They still beat this.
Man, I'm rolling with the Heat.
Rod,
with Jimmy Bucket.
Rod, there's a conspiracy in the chat, and I don't think that's really a conspiracy.
I think this is just the truth.
That's the truth.
Yeah, this is a recap.
A couple of years ago, it's called Snowfall.
Yeah. Cracking to the black community, and it's just the truth. It ain't no theory. Everybody know it.
That's just a part of Black history right there.
It's been way too many
no black chemists out there know how to make
No. Yeah, one no black dog.
You tell me that Franklin was a chemist as well, and just created the whole the most addictive drug in the world, crack.
What was his name? Franklin? Benjamin Franklin?
Aha! Hey, while we saying that, on that tip, they saying that Jack the Ripper never been caught, right?
Right.
And they never identified who he was. There's a theory saying that Benjamin Franklin was Jack the Ripper.
Oh my!
Everybody got their demons.
They said recently they found 12 bodies buried under his house. Like a house that he lived in that he owned years ago. They were digging up his house and they found 12 bodies under his house.
Oh, I got to read about this.
Hey, Ben Franklin is on $100 bill for a reason. You can't stop me or take my money by any means necessary.
Yeah,
ain't nobody take my pride.
I ain't gonna lie. You playing around with lightning, your chance of living is pretty low. I'm pretty sure he has some people he forced to test that out. So he really got the kinks out.
And the ones who didn't want to didn't want to come with them.
Hey.
Yeah, hey, you going in the ground either way, cuz you might as well help Discover the greatest discovery since fire. Go ahead, grab that cake.
This kid see a new house.
That's terrible.
Oh no, this key to your shackles, cuz. Go ahead, pull that kite down. Get that
Not
key.
the shackles.
You trying to get free?
You want me outside, boss?
Hey, go ahead.
Go ahead,
Grab that key.
I'm logging out.
Go get it.
Cause y'all ain't right. I'm logging out.
The original salt.
So I have. I don't know if this will be the last one, but I have one. This one is real. Could potentially be really dangerous. Okay. This one is about. I don't know if you ever heard the name of it. The Boule. Okay, so the Boule is from the African American fraternity, founded in 1904. Was it Phi Pi Theta? I can't remember what it is on top. But these are supposed to be consist of the most powerful people on Earth, associated with, of course, the Illuminati. And Phi Theta Kappa, that's what it was. And so the question is, are they truly trying to start a new world order? Now, to go along with that, because they've been talking so long that they're trying to start this new world order, and it's been around for ages. Why hadn't happened?
They're waiting on the right time.
I mean, I don't know how you manifest something like that in that time frame. If you think about it, 100 and
I just got it. Figure it out. Keep going, Eric. I'm gonna keep your thought out.
Okay,
hit it like that lightning.
I'll say right now you look at like 100 and if the Boule was formed in 1904, that's only 120 years to bring about a whole new world order. Since that in that time we done went from horse and buggies to Teslas and private planes. So how do you control people to start a new world order?
So
that's the new world order, Eric.
Before you go, Taylor, give you a little bit. So the Boule is an extension or is a part of the Illuminati that started in 1776. So it's not like the process started in 1904. It's just like an extension of it that encompasses what they would consider the most powerful African Americans that are a part of the Boule. For example, there is a picture that LeBron James has on his chest. It's the line, the winged line or whatnot, supposed to be the symbol of the Boule. Okay. Who are associated with what they consider the New World Order in the Illuminati that was established in 1776. So it's not really 120 years, maybe 120 years since that particular organization started. But the New World Order has been talked about coming since 1776.
So you're saying that the original Illuminati is the one that's trying to bring about the New World Order.
Right. And they have small organizations that's out doing the work, but it's all under one big umbrella.
Okay. I don't know. It's a tough job to get everybody on the same page like that. So I don't know. I mean,
it's real tough job.
You know, God had to resort to killing everybody to get us back on track at one point. So, I don't know. I think just trying to write some notes and kind of nudge people and stay secret and hidden while you're doing it, that might make it a little difficult. That's why I think it ain't happening. That's just me.
I think we're living in the New World Order. We talked about how technology just boom real quick. What is that? What if that booming of technology is the establishment of the New World Order? The whole idea of being so attached to technology that we can't live without it, that we are putting all with it. We think that if we lose this technology, we lose who we are.
What if AI is the start of, or AI, the advancement of AI is the advancement of the New World Order?
Or is the axe, the dropping of the axe, or really completely cutting us cutting us off and taking over. As it's been a slow buildup for all this time, it went from horse buggies, flying planes. Now we are is just within 120 years. Let's say 120 years. They throw that number out there.
I think that the end goal, you kind of, it's kind of pointless to get rid of people in the new world order. Like, I think controlling us, creating a dependency like the cell phone and the internet, sure, that's a great way to control people. I don't know if the dudes in 1776 had the foresight to say, yeah, one day we gonna have Instagram and Facebook, and we gonna rule the world. I don't know if
how they get you, Eric. That's how they get you, because you don't think they had that foresight. You think, this stuff just happening.
Oh no, hey, listen. Well, hey, look, unless they had somebody go back in time, like, hey, cuz I got that iPhone too. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they really would have been the method. Like the goal might have been the goal, but I think the way that they go about doing it has been changing, has been having to change so fast. Like, I don't know.
I don't think it changed at all. I think the fact that it's the control is the same. That's the constant. It's all about control. If it wasn't controlling the mind with slavery, now it's controlling the mind with social media, and controlling the mind with fear that the world was flat. So if you go too far outside that box, if you go outside that parameter, you're gonna fall off. It's all. I think all was some form of control, putting fear out there, so to keep people in those little boxes. And yes, the world is still flat. That's another conspiracy theory.
The world is flat. I ain't jumping on that flat.
We ain't got enough time to go through all the ways to debunk that.
Ain't got the time.
I really want to know, because I think the fella is a very smart guy. Genius don't even realize it. But to be so smart and then to think that, I'm trying to figure. I want to know what make him think that. What line of thought? What one thing that popped up and said, okay, this is why it's flat. That's what I want to know.
What was the trigger?
Yeah, what's the guy?
Yeah.
Who's the guy?
Oh, Irving. Kyrie Irving.
Oh, you made it sound like he was like an accomplished scientist or something like that. Irving got basketball IQ. I ain't gonna go out there and say he's just the smartest guy.
I ain't said smartest guy. He ain't no dummy though, right?
I mean, he good at basketball. I mean,
trying to say, if you can't be smart if you play basketball.
I ain't saying he can't be smart. I'm not, but him playing basketball don't make him smarter than the average person. I mean, them two things are not synonymous. Like, he got great athletics, great work ethic. Sometimes when he play. But outside of that, I mean, he ain't no scientist. He ain't studied.
Did y'all hear about Terrence Howard?
What do you do?
Which thing about Terrence Howard?
So he retired from acting. Now he's in Africa and Ghana creating this technology to bring wealth to his people.
Yeah. I'm talking about
I bet it like an Iron Man suit, huh?
Yeah. He talking about he done figured out the trigonometries and the geometries to create perpetual energy in our like bro, it don't matter how player you say it, man. It still don't make no sense.
I mean, Akon said he was building the real Wakanda. He was doing the thing. He out there
Akon doing it now.
He probably finished building it. He got it blocked off from y'all suckers. He watching y'all.
Can't get in.
Yeah, he probably won over TikTok in his sports field watching us.
Hey, look.
Yeah.
Look, what are the odds of old boy who was wearing a Tupac gear mistake Akon for Tupac?
Aha.
Oh.
They black. They look like they rich.
That's all.
He got money. He giving out free shirts. He got to be somebody.
Do you think I pretty much know what Eric's answer gonna be, but do you think America could flip, or you think they could survive with a internet kill switch? So let me give you some context. In what was it? What year? Is in 2021, 34 countries hit the kill switch on the internet, where they cut off the internet for so many days where nobody could access it. Since 2018, I think 182 different countries have done something to that extent where they cut off the internet in their entire country for a period of time. Even happened in places as big as China and Russia. It's happened in India, Pakistan, several places, and as close as Cuba. Do you think America could do something like that?
No. The reason being that those countries, they control all that. They control the news, they control the internet. So their government have that button to do that. The America don't have that. It's a free. It's truly is a free country where we where people have their own satellites in space where they can still control. They can still communicate on their own. America, all of the government don't have control over all that, and they may have it in some sense. They probably do, but still. I don't think they're executed in that sense. Just take over somebody else's stuff.
So you wouldn't need to have a kill switch. You just need to take down certain servers. So if you know about all the domains, .com, .biz, .gov, .org, all that stuff, I forget the number. I think it's like 11. America owns like 7 or 8 of those 11 domains. So they literally could like flip a switch and take those servers off, and any site that ended .com, .biz, .gov, .org, all that stuff, you wouldn't be able to reach it. Like you wouldn't kill the internet. Like you'd still be able to have connectivity to the outside world. Right. They would just take offline the places you're trying to reach. And that's essentially like they have that power already. They just don't use it because of the, America, land of the free, all that stuff. But if we live in a country like, any of those other, you name those countries like Russia, China, like Middle East, those countries, those governments don't put on like the citizens run the country. Like, no, like you are ruled by your leadership in those countries, and they just use that power. America has the power, they just haven't used it.
So my question is not that they had the power. My question is, could Americans, not the government, Americans survive?
Oh no, it'd be a wrap.
We'll lose our mind with.
A portion of America survived Katrina. That's exactly what they were.
You said a portion of America survived Katrina?
Yeah. As in that was ultimately a kill switch where everything was you couldn't
no communication, you couldn't plan anything. You had to wait.
Nothing could come in because everything was messed up. Nothing could go out.
Well, it was definitely catastrophic. I don't know if I say it went well. But also, if they were to do that, you couldn't drive to Jackson and get internet, or drive to Birmingham, or drive to Texas. Like it would be nowhere to go. Like that communication, like those resources, that information, like none of that stuff would be accessible.
So I'm saying, like when that happened, a portion of America couldn't do that because of the roads that was down. So nothing could go out, nothing could come in, and it was chaos. So, so my thing is, no American wouldn't function properly.
Okay. I see what you're saying. I thought you were saying that they did survive.
So you brought up Katrina. You brought up Katrina, and I saw this thing right before we got on. But there was a guy that said he was from New Orleans. He said that the levees did not break.
Blew them up.
They blew them up. That's what he said.
They heard a big old boom.
He said they were there. He was there, and they heard the boom. He said it did not break. They blew them up to basically wash away the people in the French Quarter and other tourist areas so they could take it back over for the money.
Exactly what they did. And right now, it is quite white. It's not Chocolate City anymore. They even put that fella in jail because he called it Chocolate City.
Yeah. So
property value was dirt cheap. Now the property value is extremely high.
Yep.
I can see that.
Then then the man let the Saints win the Super Bowl right after that. Say, you know what? I'm gonna give y'all a Super Bowl.
Two years after that, they gave us Super Bowl.
Say, go ahead, jumpstart that property value increase.
Now y'all running out.
Hey, but think about it. You know,
shut up.
Not to get on the Saints case, but think about it. They the closest they ain't even been to the NFC Championship since.
Hey, man, this is not a Saints topic. We won the Super Bowl.
You did.
Absolutely.
Y'all won.
Fair and square, but y'all won.
We won.
So what you saying is the Saints being good is a conspiracy theory. That's what I hear you saying, right?
No, I ain't.
Because the government was trying to give them reparations for blowing up the levee, so they gave them a Super Bowl win.
Yeah, I think we passed our time. Let's go.
All them people down there happy while we take over.
Yeah, like we blew up the levees, we ruined a whole bunch of people's lives and killed a whole bunch of people. Y'all go ahead and have a little parade. Yeah, we'll make it up to you. Yeah. They deserve a parade in their city.
Oh, the hate.
Ricardo say, if the government killed the internet for extended amount of time, I truly believe a lot of people would self-delete.
Better leave young folk.
True.
It'll be rough, bro. Them young folk be having some breakdown, bro.
Oh yeah.
You take a kid's cell phone, they don't know what to do. I say this, and it's sad. But these kids saying, I'm going to kill myself if you take my cell phone. Made comments like that to their parents.
I believe.
If you take my cell phone, I'm going to kill myself. And really believe it too.
Because they just never really experienced a time where they didn't have the internet.
Yeah.
Like
we
grew up
without
half our childhood without the internet.
Yeah. It's different, man. Because you think about what was our form of entertainment growing up? Like video games, TV,
outside.
And you would get. If your parents came in and was like, "Hey, like I'm taking a video game," you would like it. That extreme response, that level of dependency on it, is different. It's different than anything else that's existed. It's also the scary thing about the apps they're using. They are designed to make people feel those types of feelings, without them even noticing it. It's unprecedented. Like how addictive.
I downloaded the app the other day, and they send me the little messages. Hey, the village is about to be destroyed. The zombies are taking over. We haven't seen you in a while. And I go, I gotta go check on my village.
Oh yeah.
Direct to your phone. We haven't seen you in 3 hours. The fences are coming down. We need your commander. We need your attention.
Say less.
Like think about this. Like cell phones, and really not even cell phone, but apps that like the ones the kids are using, especially social media and stuff. It's the first time that without any sort of interaction from you or any thought, any effort, that the apps reach out to you and say, "Hey, come use me." Mm-hmm. Like you think about it, like if you put your video game down and went outside, your PlayStation ain't come like, "Hey, Rod, you ain't played me in a minute, man. Come on, let's go." Like
you ain't watching Netflix. Email saying, "Hey, we got this new show for you."
I'm telling you, look,
recommended show. How you know what I like?
Even think about like Facebook. Facebook is old, and mostly old people use it. But even now, Facebook will be like, "Hey, I don't know what you like. Let me show you some stuff somebody else posted. Hey, this person you ain't talked to in a while, they put up a picture. You interested? You curious?"
Hit that like button. They like, got you.
You ain't got to hit the like button. They literally look at the amount of time you spend. Like they look at the amount of time you spend looking at something. So if you scrolling and you slow down and then you pick back up, they're like, okay, he like that. Let me show him some more.
They get you quick too. I stopped on one of the new grill, the little grill cleaners. I watched it for 30 seconds. For the next week, everything that been popping up on my phone was about that grill cleaner.
Oh yeah, they got you, man. Yep.
They got you.
Like, we know you interested. You're gonna push you over the edge, man.
And that's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, for sure, real quick before we go, Ricardo was telling us about his teammate. Went to New Orleans, was in McDonald. Was on the phone with his mom, who said she heard a bomb or a boom that lived near the levee. So there's a lot of talk about, that it wasn't really Katrina that destroyed New Orleans. It was actually the government.
And also, before we hop off real quick, just throw this out there. 9/11. How many people
I'm gone. Right. I'm holler at y'all.
I'm just saying.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
I'm at y'all.
9/11 is a very interesting subject because a lot of, just how they did that was interesting. I mean, they for reports, they took over playing with box cutters. I mean, it's box cutters. Like, nobody was like, hey, man, they got box cutters, man. We're going to try to take them down. Nothing. It was just, you got it.
I mean, they definitely, I know they changed some rules and stuff like that. Like, now, it don't matter what's happening. The pilot will not open the door.
Yeah.
They could be back there offing people.
Slaughtering people. And they be
yeah,
like, we're going to land a plane full of blood. You ain't going
to. I know it's rough back there, but we about to hit some turbulence on our way to Kirks and Caicos. We'll let y'all know when it's time to buckle up. We'll turn the seatbelt light on for you, but good luck.
Pretty much. It's just gonna be some dead folks there. There ain't nothing we can do.
No, yeah. Hey man, you ain't gotta worry about their luggage because I don't think they're gonna get it.
Yeah, you don't need it.
No.
But man, we appreciate everybody for taking some time out to hang with us. And like always, you ain't got to go home, but you gotta get up out of there. And we'll let y'all know if they counsel us since we be talking about this.
we might not let y'all know.
If you don't see us no more, you know
what it is. Tune in this week.
Maybe.
Might not.
Maybe the same back channel. Maybe the same back time. We'll find out.
All right. Y'all be easy, man. Deuces.
Y'all support them the way y'all want to support them. The Lord will make a way. He will provide.
Hey.
That brother laying it on.
Hey, look.
I agree with Terry. Because, I mean, we grew up in a different time. Like, I feel like how some of our fathers, if they were raising some of these kids, it'll be problems on every level. Because, like Terry said, like, you may not got that affection from your dad, which I can always admit, growing up in my house, dad wasn't affectionate, but he provided, he did everything. Like, I understood. But like Terry said, I think now you have to go that extra mile because kids need it. Our young black boys, girls, they need that from both sides, from the father and the mother.